Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race on a big afternoon of racing at Aqueduct on Saturday is the Grade 2 Wood Memorial, the biggest New York Kentucky Derby prep, and our coverage is presented by DRF Bets. Sign up, get a $150 bonus at drf.com/join, promo code TV150. Let's take a look at some of these talented 3-year-olds hoping to take that final step to the first Saturday in May at Churchill Downs and the Kentucky Derby. The number 5 Enticed is your 6-5 morning line favorite for Kieran McLaughlin based off a 95 Beyer victory in the Gotham last time out. Junior Alvarado had him basically on Queens Boulevard on the backstretch. He was about 5-6 wide all the way around. The pace setter Old Time Revival, I thought, kicked on for home at just the right time, and Enticed still reeled him in without much fuss.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said about the Gotham. That wide trip for this horse seemed a little bit odd at first, but boy, did he kick in hard through the stretch. He just ran that horse right over. Old Time Revival, you know, maybe he just doesn't really want to go a distance of ground, and that could have certainly helped Enticed, but it didn't seem like that's what made the difference. I mean, he really finished in there, and it was nice to see Enticed sort of bounce back with a better race after disappointing in the Holy Bull. I know that there's a way to look at him and feel like, you know what, they turned him back. The shorter one-turn race really enhanced this horse's performance. I don't know that I'm willing to concede that at this point. I still feel like there's a chance this horse will go on in distance, and I'm glad they're giving him a chance to do it in the Wood.
Old Time Revival, the horse that Enticed ran down in the Gotham, is expected to set the pace again in the Wood Memorial as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector. Here's the problem. A, the red bar. A fast pace could work against Old Time Revival. B, the extra eighth of a mile as he tackles 2 turns for the first time. Again, I thought Jeremy Rose moved at just the right time to try to break this thing open, and he still couldn't get it done. This time, it's even a tougher situation. I'm a fan of this horse. I can't wait till they turn him back.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I mean, his last 2 races in particular, he's run really well in both of those races, and he ran great in the Gotham. I mean, that pace was legitimate in there. He was still hanging around down in the deep stretch and just no match for Enticed late, but he actually ran really well. I don't really feel like he's going to be a 9 for a long kind of horse, but I made him my 3rd pick in the race just because I wanted to give him some credit for the race he ran last time. He ran great in the Gotham.
The only prior Grade 1 winner in this race is the 2 Firenze Fire, who pulled off a $24 upset over subsequent Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner Good Magic and Enticed in the Champagne, but that was a 1-turn mile, and we're starting to get the feeling that he's probably a 1-turn horse, maybe in the mold of a Practical Joke type. I thought he ran great in the Withers at a mile and an eighth, 2 starts back. He tried really hard. Last time out in the Gotham, a lot of folks were looking forward to seeing him turning back to what he wanted to do, and it just didn't work out. After 8 starts, is he starting to get a little exposed?
I don't know. Maybe that's one way to look at him, to be sure. He disappointed in the Gotham last time. I mean, he was down inside the entire way, sort of always in and among horses. Maybe that sort of took something away from him, but he was still disappointing last time. And now they're going to stretch him out. You know, he's a really nice horse, but it feels like it's pretty clear to just about everybody by now that he doesn't really want to go this far, and I think that really works against him on Saturday.
What's the deal with the 9 Vino Rosso, who's getting back to the surface of his debut win at 7 furlongs on November the 11th? He looked like a very promising horse that day. He won his 2-turn debut at Tampa, and then in the Sam F. Davis, he kind of just ran in spots, and Todd said, okay, we're going to put the blinkers on, and it seemed perfectly logical that he would come through with a better effort. And he didn't. Was it simply a situation that this pace was a little bit slow and he couldn't make up that ground, or was he a little overhyped to begin with?
Yeah, I mean, you have to at least be open to the fact that he might have been a little overhyped because, okay, the pace wasn't that fast in the Tampa Bay Derby. He got a great trip sitting right in behind it, and he lost ground through the stretch. I mean, I don't know. I don't think, to me, there's no 2 ways about it. He was really disappointing last time. I personally didn't think he ran that great in the Sam Davis. But it was a nice step in the right direction for him. And now I'm almost at the point where I just don't know how good this horse is. And it's not like he's going to be some kind of great price in here.
Got a couple horses coming in from Southern California. The bigger priced one will be the number 1, Heart Full of Stars, coming off of a maiden win over a sloppy track. And it might rain in New York on Saturday. He is trained by one of the best in the business, in Phil D'Amato. And we've got a great formulator fact for Heart Full of Stars. 3-year-old last out maiden winners on the dirt. He knows where to place these horses. 30 49% winners, 346 ROI. So while Heartful of Stars looks a little bit slow and he's already been beaten by horses like Restoring Hope, D'Amato's showing a tremendous amount of confidence running him here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm surprised that they're shipping him over for a race like this. Just based on his last two races, I mean, I know he got it done finally last time, but boy, did he work hard for that one, and it was not a fast race. You know, his first race for D'Amato, whether you thought he was going to be able to beat Restoring Hope or not, I mean, to me, he didn't really do any running in that race. He's going to have to really improve. But as we showed with that formulator fact, I guess he could do it.
Restoring Hope goes out for Baffert. They took the blinkers off last time out, and he responded with a much better effort. I'm not sure he beat the strongest field in the world. The runner-up is his stablemate Longden, who set the pace, and Restoring Hope was just attached to that horse's hip throughout. But I really liked the way he fired that last 16th of a mile, and he finished it off very well. He was going to run in the Sunland Derby. He didn't have enough earnings to get in, so Baffert has had to wait on this horse for a while. Timeform US has him sitting second off Old Time Revival. There are worse places to be if you think Old Time Revival doesn't get this trip.
Yeah, I think all those things are true. This is a really dangerous horse in here, and he has that look of the lightly raced Baffert horse he's really starting to find himself now. I mean, his career debut with that wide trip sprinting, he got there in the stretch. It felt like he flattened out at the end. He didn't really finish that race off. I was disappointed in his second start. But, you know, he's just under such a hard hold in that race. It feels like this horse is learning from race to race. He sort of put it all together last time. I'm with you. I like the way he finished that race off. He ran right through the wire, and I think he did it for the first time in his career last time. Boy, I like Enticed in this race. This horse is going to give him a tussle, I think.
New York bred evaluator overcame a brutal trip to win his career debut at Saratoga against New York bred maiden specials on the turf, but he's proven equally adept, if not better, on the dirt, with a stakes win at 19-1 going a one-turn mile and then just missing in the Damon Runyon. He's getting blinkers here. It's kind of an interesting move. He's going to get a fast pace. He is a closer.
Yeah.
The distance, I don't think, is going to be a problem for him. I'm just not sure he's good enough.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I feel like they're taking a shot here in a much tougher race. The pace, any pace that develops will help this horse because he wants to sit back and make one run. He just has never run a race up to this point that's going to beat this field.
King Zachary handled the stretch out to 2 turns with no problem last time out at Gulfstream for Dale Romans. It just seems the Romans barn is loaded right now. There wasn't a lot of pace in that race, however. He was up close, and as a 4-5 shot, you're supposed to put the boots to the field like that. But he has a beautiful pedigree, and the distance is going to be okay, and I like his tactical speed.
Yeah, I like all those things too. He's not fast enough to win this race right now. He was visually impressive last time. I mean, it never felt like he got down to any kind of serious business at all to beat that field, but it was a very weak field the first time around 2 turns. For what it's worth, he did have a real trip 2 starts back and ran a lot better than it looks.
Catch 22 completes the field off the claim. He clipped heels and lost his rider. He's in very tough.
Yeah, he's in way over his head.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Wood Memorial, the final step on the New York road to the Kentucky Derby. You're going with Enticed in here. You liked what you saw in this horse. He's just on his very best days, probably better than these horses.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, to me, it almost just came down to the 2 favorites in here. I like the 5 and the 8, and I don't really like anybody else.
Mike's going to go 5, 8, 4, and 9. I like Restoring Hope's last race without the blinkers, and I like what Mike said, that he's lightly raced, and I like the Timeform US pace projector. Yes, the pace may be fast, but I think there's a very good chance that at the 5/16 pole, this horse takes over the lead and says, "Come get me, Enticed." And we'll see if Enticed gets this horse as easily as he got Old Time Revival last time. Mike's going 5, 8, 4, 9. I'm going 8, 5, 4, 9 in the Grade 2 Wood Memorial. Again, if you are playing from home, please consider DRF Bets and its $150 sign-up bonus offer. Head on over to drf.com/join for all the details and type in the promo code TV150 when you sign up. Approximate post time for the Wood Memorial, 5:55 Eastern. Good luck.